Continue on that note, we'll go ahead and pick up where we left off. Charlie, when I first met you on YouTube years ago, what was your username?
CM Punk Mark 35. Currently, it has been changed. I officially that username is officially not on any account now, which is very gratifying.
Okay, well, before we get there, CM Punk would also be included on your all-time favorite wrestlers, correct?
Yeah, number one.
Your number one favorite wrestler of all time just walked out on the company. You weren't able to be on the show last week, so I would really love to know what you think about this situation now.
Okay. CM Punk. Well, you sit there, hopefully as comfortable as you possibly can be, because you have worked a tough schedule. You do deserve it. I do want you to listen to me. I want you to digest this because after you left the WWE last week, I have a lot of things that I want to get off my chest. I always believed in this idea that Punk was the best, but the fact is maybe he wasn't. Whoops, now I'm breaking the fourth wall. Punk, you've given so many imaginary promises, it finally dawned on me that they were just that, completely imaginary. Ice cream, a new era, but most of all, change. Change did come for Punk. You appeared on our lovely little collector cups, you made the cover of the program, you were endlessly promoted. You got a DVD. You were on the poster of WrestleMania and now own the longest WWE title reign of the modern era, the operative word being you. Because this departure is sour grapes, CM Punk, because the fact that Dave Batista is in the main event at WrestleMania this year and you're not makes you sick. I mean, Batista makes all of us sick, but it's beside the point, damn it. See, in that infamous shoot promo, you claimed to be nothing more than a spoke on the wheel. That wheel was going to keep on turning and you understood that. But what the WWE Universe failed to hear was your plan to reinvent the wheel. And ultimately, Punk, you wanted to become the wheel. And when it became apparent that that would not happen, you took your ball and you went home. A cult of personality arises when an individual uses mass media, propaganda, or other methods to create an idealized, heroic, and at times godlike public image, often through unquestioning flattery and praise.
Preach.
It is stunning that CM Punk's theme song fits him so well. Punk has developed into such an untouchable figure that feuds with The Undertaker at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar, and The Shield have been classified as nothing feuds over the past year.
Oh.
People have justified Punk's decision by asking, why would he stay if he isn't going to be given the opportunity to main event WrestleMania? My follow-up question to all of you is just, did you want him to? Many of you have said that Bryan winning the title versus Randy Orton and getting the revenge over the Authority should have been the direction. So my question is simply, where does Punk fit in? But he's friends with Daniel Bryan, so he would have been okay with everything, right? And I have to ask, do you really believe that? If all CM Punk has left to do and all he wants to do is just to main event a WrestleMania, then why would his view change if Bryan's in the main event and he's not? We all know there's nothing that the internet hates more than a backstage politician. Let's say Punk went to Vince the morning before the Royal Rumble and said, if I don't main event WrestleMania 30, I'm leaving. And Vince rebooked the Rumble to have him win. Would you criticize him for that? What if Punk comes back in August or Rumble 2015 and ends up main eventing WrestleMania 31? Would you talk politics then, or are you just going to keep kissing his ass? So CM Punk is no martyr. His goal is not to sacrifice himself and his own career to make a statement for the fans. He departed the WWE simply because he is banged up and what had been laid out did not favor CM Punk.
Drop the motherfucking mic. Drop the mic and walk off right now. Go ahead.
You talk about a pipe bomb. That was an atom bomb.
It started so good. The whole thing, amazing, but the start, so good.
But see, my question is, why is that such a terrible thing? Your last point that you made, that he left because he was banged up and what WWE was doing didn't suit him.
Because he has contractual obligations he has to fulfill, and if you don't meet those expectations, you can be sued for breach
Because
of
I'm
contract.
pissed that the fans are kissing his ass like he's some kind of statement maker, like he's some kind of martyr, like he's some kind of person who, oh my God, look at CM Punk making a statement for us. Like, let's chant CM Punk at the show. Like,
yeah,
he did
that
for
pissed
us.
me off so much.
Like,
you hit the
he's
nail on
making
the
a
damn head
statement.
there when you said that word martyr, because it's as if he sacrificed himself for the greater good, and that's not the fucking situation at all. Just listen to the theme music. Like Charlie said, cult of personality. I exploit you, still you love me. I'll tell you 1 and 1 equals 3. Basically, this dude has brainwashed people into basically trying to fulfill his agenda. I want all of this shit, and once I bring it to the people, hey, they like my mic skills, they like the way that I compete in the ring, so they're just gonna all of a sudden agree with me, and I'm gonna use them to fulfill my agenda and give me what the fuck I want. I'm gonna tell them that, oh, this is for your benefit, I'm working for you, when in all actuality, this was a extremely selfish move by CM Punk. Do you really mean to tell me that he left to make a statement that, oh, it should be about the guys who are here every week? Oh, and this was Daniel Bryan's year. Like, I got that a lot. People kept sending me messages over and over again. Well, CM Punk, he did an interview saying that this was Daniel Bryan's year, and he believed that Daniel Bryan should main event WrestleMania. So I'm supposed to believe that that one interview completely invalidates the million fucking interviews that he's done where he said his stated goal is to main event WrestleMania. Also, rewind back to 2011. That whole shoot promo that he did on Raw, the catalyst to that was him not being in the main event of WrestleMania 27. Like, if I believed that Punk wasn't a selfish, narcissistic, egotistical asshole, maybe I would give him the benefit of the doubt. But he is not afforded the benefit of the doubt in this situation. He's just not.
Honestly, man, this is how we're going to have to do this, okay? I'm going to keep this simple, short and simple. Fuck CM Punk. Fuck AJ Lee because she's fucking him, so why not? And if you want to be down with CM Punk, and fuck you too. You know what? You want to be down with CM Punk? Fuck you too. Die slow. My 4-4 Magnum will make sure all your kids don't grow.
Hey. Tone down the theory, okay?
Whoa, okay.
That is getting taken out. But one point that I wanted to get to here, going back to the whole Daniel Bryan thing, make no mistake about it, this is pretty much no different. CM Punk hitching his wagon to Daniel Bryan is no different than John Cena trying to get a cheap pop off of Daniel Bryan. That's all CM Punk is doing. He's just trying to get a cheap pop off of him. He hitched his wagon to Daniel Bryan because that's the hot thing right now. So he put himself in a position where it's like, hey, if you're a fan of Daniel Bryan, you have to like what CM Punk did because he did it for Daniel Bryan because he thought that this was Daniel Bryan's year. But when you put yourself in a situation where the fans are finally being given what they want, the authority constructs Raw, the Raw main event, by basically saying that if Daniel Bryan wins this match, we're going to consider him to be the face of WWE. He gets in the match, and what happens during that match? You have the crowd who chanted for Daniel Bryan for the better part of a fucking year, interrupting all types of matches because they were just so excited about Daniel Bryan. They want to see this guy pushed to the top. And his opportunity that presented itself that he possibly could get that chance at the top, what do those same fans do? They start chanting CM Punk. Sure, Daniel Bryan, he got his chance too, but for the life of me, I cannot understand if this is the guy that you want to be at the top of the company, if this is the guy that you want to be the face of WWE, why the hell would anyone else distract you from what he's doing? I see how it's in CM Punk's best interest because he walked out of the company and basically he's put himself in a position, and maybe this is me just reading into it too much, but I do believe that this move was very deliberate. Like, I can call Punk an asshole all day long, but he's a very intelligent individual. And the whole cult of personality thing, it fits him to a T because he left at a very important time in WWE. This is the road to WrestleMania, and he positioned himself as a martyr. Therefore, the fans are going to take over. They're going to feel as if he's been wronged. So they're going to cheer for him and jeopardize the biggest fucking professional wrestling event of the entire year just for him. And it's going to come to a position where I think that this is real. This is a legit situation, but it may turn into a work. And I think that CM Punk is sitting at home right now saying, yeah, they're not gonna jeopardize the road to WrestleMania. Vince McMahon is gonna come crawling to me on his fucking hands and knees and beg me to come back so this crowd can stop shitting on the show.
This is the Ike and Tina Turner syndrome. They get beaten down every single time they go back. Doesn't matter how bad the beating is, they will continue to go back. I don't understand for the life of me why people are cheering for him. And sure, you could make the argument that, Stone Cold, David is your favorite wrestler, but he did the same thing. First thing, the difference between Stone Cold and CM Punk. One, Stone Cold realized that was the biggest mistake he's ever made in his career. Watch his podcast, he always talks about how stupid it was. Came back, fulfilled his contractual obligations, and also he's kind of the most popular wrestler, or at least one of the most popular wrestlers of all time. So yeah, CM Punk is, I at least not to my knowledge, I don't think he's that high up on the totem pole. I don't think that the management is going to be that forgiving. For all we know, I think knowing Vince McMahon, if Austin could walk out on him, if Hulk Hogan could walk out on him, and any time there was a new company, Hogan was always walking out. But anyway, if all those people left, I'm sure CM Punk will be replaceable. People, there's just so many stars, man. He's not even a blip on the radar.
Manny, you want to go ahead and jump in here? I think you're the only one of the position where you're actually defending CM Punk.
You know what? Maybe I'm the real CM Punk mark here, because you know what? Damn it, I'm still on his side.
You can have it. You can have it.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's examine this situation. First of all, you guys have talked about how you've had problems with the fans hijacking the shows and chanting CM Punk and whatnot, right? Is that not the same thing that they were doing in other people's matches when they were chanting for Daniel Bryan and chanting the yes chants and stuff? Why is that? Because they're cheering for the superstar that they want to see. Is that not what this is?
Because it's the difference. No, yeah. If Daniel Bryan's on the show, he didn't walk out of the company and do all that shit.
This Daniel is a real situation.
Yeah, legit. They wanted to see Daniel Bryan be put in the main event. They weren't cheering for Daniel Bryan after he completely just gave the middle finger to the company.
And ultimately,
if on the roster, then yeah, this would be a fine situation, but he's not. So
see, that's irrelevant though, because ultimately, what they're doing, the narrative is that CM Punk left because he wasn't in the main event of WrestleMania 30. Doesn't them chanting for his name mean that they want him to be in that main event?
Because the life is tough shit. That's the life. CM Punk wants to talk about, he's not the face of the company. Judging by his character, about him walking out during, I don't know, the most important time in the damn company's fiscal year, he's going to walk out and you expect him to become the face of the company? The writing was on the wall for quite some time now, and I get really sick and tired of hearing him piss and moan. There are millions of people right now in America who have jobs. They flip burgers and they have 2 and 3 kids. Single parents flipping burgers for minimum wage, and you never hear them walk out and say, my job is too tough. Life sucks. We are just living in an entitlement era. He's entitled. He wants to be the number one guy, and he does not justify it. Money talks and bullshit walks, and CM Punk is bullshit.
Here's my thoughts on the situation. I believe CM Punk forced himself into the consciousness of the WWE fans. He's forcing them to believe that they want him in the main event of WrestleMania. If he was here right now to motherfucking day, they would not care. I'm not saying that they wouldn't care about CM Punk per se. I'm saying they wouldn't give a fuck about him being in the main event of WrestleMania. Because they're thinking, hey, he's giving them an ultimatum. You push me to the fucking moon or I'm done. So the CM Punk fans, of course, they're like, well, push this dude to the fucking moon. You better get him back here because we want to see them. But like Charlie said, this wasn't about CM Punk. This is about Daniel Bryan. If anyone should be pissed off, it should be him. Would you all really excuse them putting Daniel Bryan to the side to move CM Punk into that position that Daniel Bryan is occupying right now as he makes his way to the top of WWE?
Why can't it be both of them?
Hell no.
Why can't both of them be in that position?
Because Bryan's more over, god damn it. Manny, this is what I'm trying to say with this, okay? Daniel Bryan's over it, but he's trying to make it about himself too, and it has nothing to do with Punk. He's going to get in a nice little feud, which is going to be kind of a main, multiple main feud with Triple H, but he drops that in favor. He's just Punk's being selfish little prick. That's all it is. He's not thinking about Daniel Bryan. He's thinking about himself. And honestly, it's pretty selfish what he's doing when it comes to Daniel Bryan, because he's leaving Daniel Bryan in a locker room full of political assholes when Daniel Bryan doesn't play politics. So he's leaving his best friend there to get fed on by wolves is what he's doing. He's giving a finger to Daniel Bryan too. And I hope Daniel Bryan fucking realizes
when Punk was there, he was already in a locker room full of political assholes.
Yeah, but he had Punk at the very least to be his friend and stuff. But now
they're best friends.
The dude just said, "Main event me at WrestleMania or I'm leaving." Is that not the definition of backstage politics?
Yeah, I don't get this whole mantra that CM Punk, that he's above the fray. You're waist deep in it, fucking neck deep at that. You are all in it. The thing is with him, he tried to become the face of WWE, but it just did not work out. You can't force yourself into a position like that. And for the life of me, I don't understand how he even thought that this was possible, because do you not realize that you being anti-authority, that's who you are at your core, at your foundation, but that's like trying to fit a fucking square into a circle. The shapes do not match. I learned that shit back in fucking kindergarten when we had those little things, with the little blocks with the holes in them, and they had the different shapes. I learned that shit back then. Why don't you know this now? I guess he thinks he's like Stone Cold or something like that, but the thing that he fails to realize is that shit going on with Stone Cold, anti-authority, that was a fucking work. Yeah. That's who you are as a real person, and this would be the equivalent of all of those motherfuckers out there on Occupy Wall Street. Oh, I hate the corporate. They need to bring down the corporate profits. They need to redistribute the wealth and all of this type of shit, and how Wall Street is so unfair. And you're posting that on Twitter, and then you look down at the tweet. It says, tweet it from an iPhone. That's like somebody complaining about the business practices of McDonald's, but when you're done protesting, you go in there and order a number one with cheese. The shit does it. It's a contradictory image. They
if
don't
you
mix.
Get a Big Mac with cheese, you want crack.
It does not mix. You can't be anti-authority, anti-sports entertainer, but then want the benefits that affords. You can't do that shit. Do you really think that if I'm in the position of them, you tell me how much I suck, you tell me how stupid I am, and then I'm supposed to hand my company over to you? Get the fuck out of here. Are you nuts? Are you insane?
If like this is the reason why he can't be that guy.